Hi, I oftentimes get the question about people who are alcoholics or drug addicts and they've been sober or clean for a certain period of time and then they relapse. And they often come in and say, am I ever going to be clean forever? Am I ever going to be sober forever? And the answer is, yeah, you could be. And the first step is that you have to get rid of shame, because shame and guilt about using or the behavior that you had while you were using really just allows the alcohol and drugs to have more power over you. And when you feel shame, what do? You want to escape that shame, right? So you go use. And so shame and guilt can be the catalyst that continues to drive you to keep using, to escape and to numb out, so you don't have to have those guilt, shameful feelings that you did something wrong, that you cheated on your spouse because you were using, or you wrecked the car, or you said something mean to somebody. So instead, what I would say is you have to forgive yourself as much as you can forgive yourself, and you got to move forward. A lot of the recovery programs talk about starting every day anew, and I think that there's something to be said about that, and staying present in today. And you know, a lot of people say that if you're stuck in yesterday, you tend to be depressed. If you're worried too much and stuck in tomorrow, you tend to be anxious. And so if you just stick to today, you can just enjoy the time, enjoy the day, enjoy what's going on for you. And sure, you have to make amends. You have to apologize for things that you did while you were using, because other people do get involved and have feelings. But you don't have to be somebody who is being hard on yourself. Believe me, enough people are going to be hard on you for you. So you're worth getting help. You're worth recovery. You're worth being sober, clean forever. And most people don't do that by themselves. Most people need help. And recovery programs aren't for everybody. I think people who say that recovery programs don't work for them are people who are either really not religious or don't have an ability to figure out a higher power or whatever. That's okay. There are people who don't like recovery programs because they don't like going to meetings and hearing about people talking about how much they miss meth, and it brings back memories for them, and then they're thinking in the meeting, "Ooh, yeah, that was good," and "Oh yeah, that was, wow, I forgot about that." And then they start getting into that thinking again of using and how they can get the drugs or whatever. And so for a lot of reasons, recovery programs don't necessarily work for everybody. But I would recommend going to individual counseling if the recovery programs or groups don't work for you. There is, every single person out there can have a different recovery program. A different thing works for different people. No same thing works for everybody. So what I would say is, give me a call. Call a therapist near you that you feel like isn't going to judge you and is going to be able to be capable of taking you to that next step of recovery. And, one thing you can do is play a game with yourself. Try and just beat the last amount of time that you were sober or clean. So if last time you were sober 5 days, try and make it 8 days. And then when you make 8, try for 10. And maybe in the process, that 10 will become 30 or 30 years or whatever. So I hope this was helpful. And please know that I'm out there. I'm non-judgmental. I understand that just because you relapse doesn't mean that you're horrible, and that you probably didn't mean to do half the things that you did, but I can help you to not do that again. So I hope you give me a call, or that you call a therapist near you and start your journey.